Hey everybody, I'm Neil Sponsel, lead singer of Moonshine Mafia, and your host for Local Bands of Georgia, where we put a spotlight on the local music scene and you get a chance to learn a little bit about your favorite artist or band. We'll talk about their journey in music, where they're at right now, and what is in store for the future. So let's get into it. Tonight, we've got a very, very special guest. I have really been looking forward to this interview right here. Got to see these guys play at Cinema Tavern not too long ago, and I have been hooked ever since then. But I got to see Sean, and the first song he had me hooked, and we are going to get into everything music, and we might get into a little shenanigans as well, but we're going to have a good time. Sean is a absolutely fantastic singer. He is one of my most favorite performers. And without further ado, I got Crazy Heart's Sean Bennett right here with me.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? Neil, thank you, brother. Thank you for having me, man.
I appreciate you coming on.
Well, it's a great thing you're doing here, man.
I appreciate that.
Excellent thing, you know.
Yeah.
If that's the introduction that a $5 bill gets you, man, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. So first thing is as I follow you guys, and I follow you, and I pay attention, first thing in the morning, you're already putting out good vibes. I see the things that you're posting, and it's just like, hey everybody, you guys go out and have a blessed day, have a good one, make the best of it.
Absolutely.
So it's almost, I get on Facebook in the morning where you're setting the tone really for the day. So I'm kind of like, hey man, what did Sean post this morning? So I appreciate that. It kind of gets me up and moving and ready to roll throughout the day. But I'm also seeing that you're booked here. You're doing acoustic night. Crazy Heart's booked on a Friday. You're booked on a Saturday. You've got trivia that's going on.
That's right.
My first question I got is, do you ever sleep?
Yes, I do. I do. And it's blocked in, and that's the thing about in the rest.
Yeah.
We talk about doing this, if you want to do it for a living or anything, really anything, is taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
Resting when you can. I try to, when I'm done and I get home, I don't hang out and linger. When I'm ready, I'm done, I'm in the bed, and then I'm up about 6:30 every morning regardless. So it may be 4 hours, it may be 5, it may be 2. But I try to make sure when I'm done, I get in and get that rest and get up and get ready to start the next day.
Gotcha.
So yes, I do get my sleep.
Good.
Absolutely.
Well, obviously you got good taste.
Yeah.
Right here, wearing an unbelievable Prince.
My kids got good taste. This gift from the kids. So yeah.
Sweet.
I'm raising them right, man.
Well, that's how you're supposed to do it. Nice. What's up, Joe? Good seeing you.
How you doing, brother?
So how did everything start for you? I know that you started off as a drummer, correct?
Yes, sir.
So when did you start playing drums?
Started playing drums at about the age of 4. My mother really kind of introduced me to music. Music's been in the house my entire life. Right. I tell everybody my lullabies was Van Morrison, Into the Mystic. I love that song. That's
it's fantastic.
It's a very special song to me. But that was like, she loves that song. It was his music, Otis Redding, James Brown, the Platters, the Drifters, just all that good soul stuff.
Right.
So she started me basically looking into music. She wanted me to play guitar. So she took me down to Jimbo Thornton's music store. And Jimbo Thornton, if you're out there, brother, thank you. He's in Panama City now, still rocking and rolling. But she took me down there for guitar lessons. Sat down and we figured out real quick, all coordination ends here at the fingers. So it just didn't click. But they had a drum set there. And while she sat down for her guitar lesson, I wandered over to the drum kit and just started playing a beat. And he said, well, that's his instrument.
Gotcha.
So a few months later, they bought me my first kit. Was like a Sears, one of those little Sears toy kits, paper heads.
Yeah. I had one of those.
The little symbol. I had the wood block and I had this little bitty piece of metal. They call it a symbol, but that's all it was, a little piece of round metal.
Yeah.
But yes, I was rocking out on that, and that was the first kit. And then I remember distinctly, I was blessed to have an older sister, and Katrina, if you're out there listening, love you. And she was watching MTV every weekend that she came over. So I was watching all these music videos, and I remember watching Twisted Sister, We're Not Gonna Take It video, remember?
Yeah, I know.
And there's the part where the drummer, he's hitting it with these flashy metal sticks, and when he hits the drum heads, the glitter bursts up.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's it right there. So I went out and I found the flashiest sticks I could find, and not realizing that, you know, metal tubes don't go good on paper drum heads, but they were flashy and they were shiny.
Yeah.
And that took me one beat and busted them. So I didn't have a drum kit from the age of 5 or 6 up until I was 12.
Oh man!
And from that time, I was just listening to music and just beating on anything. I mean, literally pots and pans and drawers, or you know, storage tops and couches, anything that I could make a beat with. And finally, they gave in and said, "Okay, you know, sell one of your motorcycles and get the money yourself, and then you can have a drum kit." And
Fair enough.
Said, "Okay," put that motorcycle out in the yard, and here we go. Went up to Douglasville Pond. You know, that used to be right there, the old downtown Douglasville.
I do remember.
It was right there on the corner. Yeah. Sure enough, that's where I got it. First kit, Slingerland. An old Slingerland. Imagine that, kind of Slingerland, yeah.
You still have that
No,
kit?
unfortunately. Wish I did.
I bet you.
Didn't know what I had at the time either.
Oh my goodness.
I was wondering why the guy was smiling so much when I traded for the CBX. You know, he was like, yeah, I'll take that. Yeah. Yours is all brand new and shiny. Mine is old. Sure, this is a great deal. Take
yeah.
it.
Oh my Lord.
You live and learn.
Gracious.
Yeah. So that's what started drumming. And then I just playing the records and just loving the beat. And then when I got in middle school, started playing in marching, or the regular band, middle school band. Marched 1 year in high school, and then it happened. I got my first $100 bill to play drums, and
you were sold.
That's it. That's it. I was done, and I realized right then that's something I think I could do for the rest of my life, or at least give it a good go.
Yeah.
And it just took off from there, and I had the opportunity to play with a lot of different people. Do you remember the old blues club Roosters?
Yep.
Okay. I didn't sneak in. They knew where I was, but I'd explain to them, I just want to listen to the music. And so I'd have me a bowl of chips and a Coke, and I'd sit in the back.
Now, Roosters was playing a lot of soul.
Yes, a lot of soul and blues. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
And because what had happened is about the time I was 16, and my first paid gig came about because I'd been playing drums with a fellow classmate who was playing guitar. Not a band, we were just kind of jamming, right?
Yeah.
And he knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody who was Scott Boyer III. Scott Boyer III is the son of Scott Boyer II. And Scott Boyer II was a part of a band called Cowboy with Tommy Talton.
Okay.
Wrote a song called Please Be With Me, which Eric Clapton covered on the, I can't remember which album it is, but he covered some of his material. Just great guy, great songwriter, but tied in with the Allman Brothers as well.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's how I got introduced to the blues and the jazz. And once I heard the Allman Brothers, it was like, it opened a whole nother door of what music was.
Yes.
It's really digging into it because it's a mixture of everything.
It is.
So I just, getting the opportunity to play with folks that knew that type of music, had played that type of music, familiar with it, taught me a lot. So I'd go to Roosters, and I'd have the opportunity eventually to sit in with players like the Otis Ely and Big Papa and House Rocker Johnson and all these cats that would come through, and just they'd let me sit in for a song or two, but I learned so much.
Yeah,
like you were talking about earlier, going out and watching people and just learning, just really truly learning something. That's what I was doing, and it paid off. And experience
is the payment. If you're a drummer and you don't get seat time,
right.
Same deal if you're a singer and you don't get stage time,
right.
You can watch all day long, but you've got to start putting on stage what you're starting to learn. So how long was it that you played drums before you said, you know what, I want to sing?
Oh, wow. I was 37 years old. I'm 43 now, so I've only been singing for, a little over 6 years. So it was a while, God. So 14 to 37, however many years that is.
That's a lot, man.
But it wasn't something that just, even though it was a decision that I feel like maybe it feels like it happened overnight.
Yeah.
It was a long time coming from being a drummer, working behind a lot of different acts, different front men, front women, watching how they, perform the show, how they worked the room, the type of things that were being done and weren't done. And I just always had a yearning to sing. I think everybody does. Everybody wants to sing,
Yeah.
It just so happened when I sang, I had more people kind of stop and go, "You sing?" And I didn't really see it as like I was singing. I was just singing to sing a song. But people were starting to tell me more and more, you actually got somewhat of a voice. So I would start singing 2 or 3 songs a show, and
Okay.
no joke, anybody who was a witness to it, I'd sing those 2 or 3 songs, and that was it. And I'm not singing anymore tonight, and they're not going to let me come out and sing anymore tonight. And you go back there, you play them drums, and not another peep. So
yeah,
I learned real quick that being trying to be a singer from my position was not going to work.
Yeah.
If I wanted to be a singer, I had to have enough courage to say, okay, well, I'm gonna be a singer. I'm gonna come up front, and I'm gonna be in front of people and in front of a band, and have pretty much all eyes on me in that sense, because
yeah.
that's what a front man kind of supposed to do. So
yeah,
that's what it was. So it wasn't an overnight thing, but it was a long time coming for sure.
Do you feel like when you finally got on stage and you were the singer for the first time for a full show, did it feel like you played drums forever, but did it feel like you were coming into who you really are at that point?
Absolutely. I discovered myself for the first time, I believe.
Gotcha.
Truly. Just, it's like when you hear your voice for the first time, like you truly hear your voice, it can be shocking.
Yeah.
Because it's even when you hear your voice back on a recording, like I go back and watch this video and you're like, oh my God, that's what I sound like. But singing and performing gave me an opportunity to where for the first time I was like, this is me. This is just all natural. There is no second guessing. Like, is this right? It's right.
Yeah.
And that's just the way I felt. It was just like finally welcome home type thing.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So with us being in what we do, and you play all different types of songs, how did you get up to the amount of songs that you were learning? I mean, because how many songs do you think you know?
Oh God, over 100. Easily.
Yeah.
Easily over 100. A lot of it's just about loving songs. Just
Yeah.
loving the song. Loving the song that you listen to it so much that you don't like it so much. You love it, but you don't like it. So
Yeah.
I can not maybe hear that song today, but that's it. First, loving the song, and wanting to do the song and listening to the song enough to where you do learn it, and then go from that, adding in even songs you don't necessarily are your favorites, and that goes into what I think we're going to talk about in a little bit. Is when you're in a cover band and you're playing for bars, sports bars, lounges, whatever, you've got to be diverse. Diversity is a big thing.
Big time.
Big time. And so you start to understand that you can't necessarily go into a room and say, okay, well, I'm just going to do a set of all the songs that I want to do.
All right, did you hear this? This is one of the biggest things right here, is the fact what he just said was, I'm not playing all the songs that I want to do. You got to cater to the crowd, man.
That's right. Have something for everybody. That's why you're there. That's why they're there. It's a win-win for everybody. Everybody has a good time. And we were just talking about that. If you're doing the songs that you're not necessarily comfortable with, or that you don't like but somebody loves, well, that gives them an opportunity to say, hey, man, thank you for doing that song. When you say, hey, I got an original tune. Cool. Let's hear it, man. Thank you for playing my song. Let's hear your song.
Exactly.
It's a win-win, but definitely, knowing and understanding, catering to your crowd, reading your room, read your room.
Yes, absolutely.
What's that feeling when you're on stage and we get it, the crickets, like you're rolling, everything's good, you're flowing, you get your vibes, and you say the wrong thing, or the wrong thing gets this.
Yeah, shuts it down.
Man.
Yeah,
so don't do that. Read that room.
Well, if it doesn't happen to you, then you've kind of done it wrong.
Yes.
You've got to mess up in order to learn from your mistakes and see what's working.
Absolutely.
And you also got to sing songs that you thought was going to go over, like big time. And then, just like you said, crickets happen. Yeah, we're not keeping that song. What do you feel like some of the crowd favorites are from when you guys are playing? When you're on stage with Crazy Heart, what do you feel like some of the big songs that go over for the crowd?
Anything the Van Morrison and the Mystics, a biggie. Anything about Black Crowes. She talks to angels. That's everybody loves that one.
Yeah.
Pulling out stuff that you don't necessarily get to hear being played, like Keep on Smiling, Harder to Breathe, Maroon 5.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because if
that
you
is
go,
fantastic.
and that's what I love to do is like shift gears. If you can go from like a Gary Allen right where I need to be, and then all of a sudden shift into Maroon 5, Harder to Breathe. They're still on the floor, they're still digging it, and then this just takes a minute. And
they got to register.
Yeah, so but once they get it, they're like, oh, the head starts bobbing.
Yeah.
So yeah, just in anything really, I tell you, everything goes over well that they can tell that you're being sincere. And we talked about this earlier, not just singing the song, performing a song. Letting people know that you're feeling this song. You're wanting to let them feel it with you. You're putting that out there. You're not just here reading words or singing words, and you're getting people involved.
Yeah.
And that always goes over well.
Absolutely.
And Eddie Skinner. May cost a little bit more, but hey, Eddie Skinner goes over well.
That's a great point that you brought up, because people are going to come. Do you play Skinner? And then they're going to ask for. Do you play this song? Yeah, that song cost you $500.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things to where, and I love Skinner. That's another group that I grew up listening to. Right. I was listening to Skinner even before the Allman Brothers. One thing, I will play Skinner, play Simple Man, Sweet Home.
Yeah.
What I really enjoy is if you're gonna do a Skinner, that's one band that has not so much deep cuts, but so many tunes that aren't necessarily played on the radio as much. Right. Those are the tunes you want to hear, man.
Exactly.
Those are the tunes, because not everybody's playing those. You don't really get to hear those live. Love those. Then anytime. Yeah. Simple Man, something like that. Yeah, probably take a little extra nudge. I'll sing it though.
Now, what's your favorite Leonard Skinner song to sing?
Favorite Leonard Skinner? Well, obviously Simple Man, because it's just the I love seeing it because of just what it's about. Yeah. I'm a mama's boy.
Me too. I understand.
I got a good mama. So I love what it's about, and I just love being able to hit some of those notes. I can feel it again. I feel it.
Right. Yeah, and when you're singing a song like that, you feel the energy from the room. Right. They already want you to sing.
Yeah. But when you lock it in and they're locked in, it's like, yes.
Yeah.
So what is it? I said the funniest thing that I've ever heard, and Mike Roberts. If you're watching, brother, this one's for you. I got done doing a song, and I can't remember. I think it was "Cover Me Up," Jason Ozell, which is a beautiful tune.
Yeah. And
I love that song. That's another one I really love. And I just get into it, and by the time I'm done, I look over at Mike, and he's not ashamed to say it. He yelled across the bar to me and Amanda, "Y'all done made a biker cry, y'all." There you go. You done did your job right there. If you can make a biker cry, yes.
I hear you.
They're feeling it. So.
I know for me, I love everything you guys do, but when you guys did She Talks to Angels, and I love the Black Crowes.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely love the
Just saw them this past year, as a matter of fact.
I did too.
That was awesome. Did you there at the Alpharetta? Was it Alpharetta?
No, it wasn't Alpharetta. It was Lakewood.
Saw it Lakewood?
Yeah, it might have been last year that I saw them.
I know there was right there. There was the one right before. The pandemic one got canceled. They rescheduled. That's right. So
yeah. And we used to do She Talks to Angels, and I'll do so good until I get towards the end, and then it gets away from me at the end. It's crazy because you're trying to nail how it does, but you do an absolutely amazing job of it. And I like how you guys are doing it with the electric guitar.
Yes.
You're always hearing it with the acoustic, but you guys do a little bit of a different thing there.
Well, that's necessity. That's great. It's again our Crazy Heart. Go ahead and give a shout out to Crazy Heart. We've got Eric Clanton on bass guitar. We've got Dan Smallwood on drums, and our guitar player is Brian Bennett, and then myself. So we're a 4-piece band, but we're 3-piece instrumentally because I don't play anything. So
I can relate.
Right. So the fact that Brian is able to take all those parts and combine it into one and make it work, that says a lot for him and what he's doing. So that too is we talked about song selection and just having guys around you that can make it work like that.
Right.
Yeah, props to them.
Absolutely. At some point, we'll probably get all of you guys on.
Yeah, love to.
Go through what you guys got going on. From a vocal standpoint, who are some of your influences that you're like, they make me want to sing?
Oh, okay. Right off the hip, just top 3 is Greg Allman, Otis Redding, and Van Morrison. That's it. Those are. I mean, I've got many more, but if those are the three that I feel probably really touch me.
Gotcha.
More than anything, and make me just feel the way I love feeling about music.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. It's the music that would feel it.
Right.
You got to have that.
That's right.
And we were talking about both of us being in cover bands and the amount of diversity in which we play. For you, I know my drummer asked me, and I had my answer, but I want to hear your answer. We do all these different types of genres, and we were doing all these different types of bands. The difficulty level from going from one genre to another, from one band to the next, how difficult is that?
It is. It's difficult. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even trying to sugarcoat it. Like we talked about earlier, the first thing you got to do is know yourself, be honest with yourself in performing. Perform the song.
Right.
Give yourself an honest assessment if it's to the point of where you're damaging your throat or you're having to change a little bit too much. It might not be one you want to go for, but always want to challenge yourself.
Yeah.
Because that's what cover bands are about, diversity. But yes, it's very difficult to shift gears, because if you're going from Van Halen to a Pat Green or a slow down, or Jason Isbell slow down country tune, or anything, different genres, different feelings, different vibes, different phrasings. It's a lot that goes on in your head.
Big time.
And it's very difficult, but it's also very rewarding. Because once you know that you got them under your belt, and like you can feel yourself grow as far as your range. That's what I enjoy most, is once you're like, okay, man, I can't do that one. That's not that bad. All right.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. And now you're doing this full time, am I right?
Correct. Yes.
How long you been doing it full time?
Back full time. So I was back full time since October of last year. I went full time for the first time back in 2005, and I played drums from 2005 full time all the way up until 2016. 2016 had some changes go down. Made the change to be a lead singer, pretty much starting all over again. So I got back in the day job thing. Did the day gig from 2017 all the way up, even through the pandemic, up until October of this past year, and now I've been doing it full time again. And so that's just it's funny how things work out. Sometimes you look at situations, you go, man, but honestly, the way everything's worked out over the past year, it's like, okay, not exactly what you're expecting,
right?
But it has worked out exactly as it needed to.
Right.
So you just roll with it.
Could you see yourself doing anything else?
Honestly, not right now. No, I just can't. I honestly believe that right now, for the first time, the opportunity is there to make a good go at it. And like we talked about earlier, I'm not under any assumptions or delusions. I'm not trying to rule the world or get out there and be rich and famous. I just want to be able to have a consistent career and opportunity to make a living and provide for my family, and I've been able to do that.
Gotcha.
Anything above that, we're golden. Right now,
awesome.
This works.
Awesome. So how did Crazy Heart form? How did that take place?
Crazy Heart formed in February of 2021, and we started out. I had an opportunity to play a show, and the band that I was playing with at the time, unfortunately, our scheduling, it just didn't work out.
Gotcha.
But I really wanted to play the show. It was a big show. It was down in Panama City Beach. It was Lucky 13, big old bike rally down there.
Gotcha.
And the opportunity was there. So I did. I just kind of took it upon myself. I said, well, I really want to play this gig. So I called up Brian, and he said, hey, Eric wants to play. And I said, well, all right, I'm a drummer. I'm a singer. Let's do this thing. So we went down there as a three-piece, me playing drums and me singing. And that was our first gig, was Panama City.
Had you ever done that beforehand, to where you're playing drums and singing? So how hard was that?
That was insane. It was insane, because what I did is you get excited, So when I said, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I was like, I can do this. Then I sat down and I realized, okay, not only do I have to get 40 songs lyrically ready to go, because it was a whole nother thing as opposed to what I was doing with this other band.
Yeah.
I have to get 40 songs drums ready as well. So it was double duty. And, again, I didn't realize what I was capable of until I started doing it, because at the beginning I was just like, oh, I may have overstepped my boundaries on this one. But at the same time, I'm hard-headed.
I feel you.
Right? If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to try to do it.
Yeah.
And so I just put my nose to the grindstone, and I did it. I learned the songs, and we went down there. We had a great response. Came back, played a few more shows as a three-piece, and then we were able to start working drummers in.
Okay.
And drummers are drummers. I'm a drummer. We're all drummers. They just kind of come in and kind of go in everybody's, because it's hard to find a good drummer. This is the thing, guys. Okay, here's some band advice.
Take notes. Here we go.
It is hard to find a very good drummer, and it's hard to find a very good bass player that's going to be able to work with you full time, all the time. Because why? Because they're very good, and they're going to be playing all the time with everybody. So when you have a good drummer and a good bass player, you treat them right, and you take care of any musician that's willing to come out and give their time and their effort to be a part of what you're doing. But a good drummer and a good bass player are hard to find, and when you have one, you keep them. So we had the great bass player, which is Eric Clan, but we finally were able to lock in with a consistent player with Dan, and that's just been a blessing in disguise, because being a drummer, I know how important a great drummer is.
Yeah.
I'm sure you as a front man know what it's like if you ever performed with a drummer. If that drummer drops that beat and you're feeling, it's a tough struggle.
Yeah.
And it's the same in reverse when the drummer's back there and he's locked in and he knows that groove and he's locked in, but that singer can't hit that one, can't find that.
Yeah.
So it's very cool when you're able to get the right people in the right position. And that's what we had when we found Dan, and everything just kind of locked in. And we've been going with this incarnation for close to a year, if not right at a year.
Yeah.
So I'm going since 2021, but with Dan for about a year now, so everything's going
nice. Yeah, it's all about chemistry.
Yes.
You got to have that. You can have the best players in the room. You can have the best players on the stage, but if you don't gel, you don't get along, and you're not feeling each other, it just doesn't work.
Nope.
That's what I'm saying. You can be the best musician in the world, but I'll take someone that's in the pocket, in the groove, and wants to be there and be a part of what you're trying to accomplish.
That's right.
All day long. And I'm glad you guys have found what you're looking for.
Oh, yeah. And, well, it's funny you said that, because they've got B.B. King says it best on his documentary, and in many, many quotes. He said, I'd rather take a player that's 50-50 than a player that's 70-30. Meaning that I'd rather take a player that's willing to learn and work together as a team than somebody who knows it all and don't want to hear nothing.
Exactly.
Because you ain't going to get nothing done. If you ain't willing to learn, you ain't getting nothing done.
You're not lying. And I see you guys are playing all over the place. How often are you guys booking shows?
Okay. We talked about that earlier. We are booked pretty much every weekend. I have 4 dates. I have 4 dates that are available for 2023 left on the books. So we're Friday and Saturday pretty much every weekend for the rest of the year. You
heard it here. They have 4 dates left. If you want Crazy Heart at your venue,
please,
you need to be contacting Crazy Heart. Contact Sean. Get these guys on stage. Well, this is popping up. You got the Watering Hole here.
That's right.
I know you guys play there.
Mm-hmm.
But they've got 4 dates left.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
4 plus 4th of July. If anybody's looking for anything private-wise, as far as like a 4th of July company party, family party, private party, we've got a 4th of July date available if anybody's looking for one.
So they've got 5 dates.
It's 5, yes. Sorry.
They've got 5. But you got to get these guys out there. I've seen them. They're magic on stage. They're one of the tightest bands I've ever seen. And like I said, once I saw them the first time, and I got to meet Sean and the guys, and I was just like, these guys are the real deal. I mean, they really are. And you want them at your venue. I guarantee you, they're going to keep cheeks in the seats. They're going to keep the beer flowing like wine. And it's going to be a good time.
Well, that's what you guys do too, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Like good, what is it? Great minds think alike. Huh?
They do, and it's just.
This guy's an entertainer too.
I appreciate it. I'm just trying to get to this guy's level.
No, so he puts on a show, and that's what we were talking about earlier as far as being a front man and being the person that's trying to keep that room going.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you put on a great show.
I
You
appreciate
keep that
it,
energy
man.
level where it needs to be, and everybody, you know, enthused and paying attention.
I appreciate
And like you
it.
said, you want anybody to look at you, by God, they do.
Yeah. Well, it helps when you're wearing a snazzy shirt.
That's right.
Or something, or if you got a good looking hat like this guy's got. And you guys always, you guys look the part, you guys perform the part, and like I said, one of the tightest bands out there. There's no doubt about it. What are you guys working on right now? What's your current projects you got going on?
Right now is, like I said, we're with us playing, we're doing a really good job of building a good foundation and followings, and just getting the word out there about the band, because there's no originals as of yet. But with us building the foundation, we are working towards writing more, getting more originals going.
Gotcha.
You know, because again, we want to have the platform and the following to do so. And so that's what we're working for. We're going towards more this year, trying to work more towards the original thing, the side of things. And of course, always working is play anywhere, you know, for anybody that'll let us.
Absolutely.
Grind on.
Yeah, that's the fun part of once you grab the attention, and then you're starting to do your own thing with what's going on, and now you guys are getting a good following. If you know anybody, it's the same thing that we're doing. We're trying to get everybody on page with everybody that's local here in Georgia, because there's tons of talent that is out there. Let them know about Crazy Heart. You know, it is so easy to go to their page, like, follow, pay attention to their videos, write a comment on what's going on, share it, and that's the easiest thing that you can do to continue to help out these bands, is spreading the word, and letting everyone know that, hey, you guys got to check out Crazy Heart. They post multiple times throughout the week on what shows they got going on. I'm sure that you're going to be able to find something, because they're playing all the time. It's just like this Friday.
Mm-hmm. We got a big weekend.
Yeah. You got. Tell us about the weekend.
This weekend we've got a really good weekend coming up. Tomorrow night, which will be the 28th, we're going to be over in Lawrenceville, Georgia, at Will Henry's Tavern, which is off Sugarloaf Parkway. Great spot. We love that spot, as well as Will Henry's over there off Rock Bridge. But just a great bunch of people. Kenny Ray and his staff ready to rock and roll for you. So that's Will Henry's Tavern, Sugarloaf, Lawrenceville. That's tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. Saturday, if you guys are over here in the Lithia Springs area, we're going to be at Atlanta Harley Davidson over on Thornton Road in Lithia Springs from 11 until 3. It's the RRAR 2003 Spring Ride. Riders Against Road Rage, I believe. Free hot dogs, free drinks. So
you can't beat that.
You can't not beat that. Free food,
plus entertainment and free food.
So it's family friendly. Bring the kids. Everybody ride on out. It'll be a great day to ride a motorcycle and or buy a motorcycle. See?
Absolutely.
So that's 11 to 3. Kickstands up at 11:30 for their ride. Then Saturday night, the 29th, we're going to be in Cummings, Georgia, at the Wild Wing Cafe. And that starts at 9 o'clock. That's a cool little spot too. You ever played there?
I've never played there.
They've got their own in-house PA and sound, and a lot of the Wild Wing cafes do. So that's a pretty sweet little gig, and they've always got great people taking care of that. So yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, if you get a chance, I can definitely give you the contact.
Cool. I'd love to have it. You just got 3 opportunities right there to be able to see Crazy Heart. And did you hear the locations? They're playing all over the place. So they're trying to come to you anywhere that they can be able to play. And so they're all over the map. They're doing their thing. They're making things happen. What are your future plans going forward with Crazy Heart? What is the end all be all?
The end all be all. The end all be all is to have fun. You know, obviously first things first is to have fun and enjoy what we're doing. Enjoy just being around the people and the environments and the songs. Building on that, wanting to, when you hear the name Crazy Heart, you know automatically that's a good time. That's going to be a good night. You know, there's no questions asked. Making sure that we put the best foot forward and just make the best of every opportunity given. You know, I don't think you can't ask for more than that. Everything after that is pretty much on you.
Yeah.
All you can ask for is an opportunity, then it's on you to make
exactly
what it does.
Before we end off,
yes,
you had mentioned some Star Wars.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, told y'all.
I was going to have him incorporate a little bit of Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I mean, my favorite, of course, is Darth Vader. I like the bad guy. It's the same deal with wrestling. I like the bad guy.
But is he really a bad guy, though? That's the thing, though.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I mean, he's got some bad
tendencies.
Yeah, that's what I think what we love about him, because even being the villain, understanding the backstory, I think we can all relate to how he became to be.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you feel for him when you see all the stuff
sympathetic.
that happens.
Yeah. So that's we love old Darth. Matter of fact, there's someone right there, man. I mean, he holds it down up here.
Yeah. Right on. So who's your absolute favorite in Star Wars?
Oh wow. Okay, so we're gonna go deep on this one.
We're gonna go deep.
I'm not even in canon. Okay. I'm going back to we're talking about Riven. Do you know anything about Riven?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going deep. You're going deep.
Let me get you some. Since we're there. All right. So
here it is. Here it is.
So there's Riven. Okay. All right. It's awesome. So Riven is he was a Jedi and a Sith. He was a Jedi who lost his way, became a Sith Lord, basically conquered the galaxy. He came up with the rule of 2 for the Sith.
Okay.
Master and apprentice. Just a very powerful being, and then was so powerful they had to wipe his mind, and he retrained as a Jedi.
Oh my
Very
goodness.
Interesting story.
Wow.
Darth Revan. Yeah, if you guys get a chance. Yeah, man. Thank you. Right.
I wanted to give Sean an opportunity to go off of the rails a little bit because we've never done it. It's just always been music, but I mean.
You should do more of it.
Expect the unexpected.
That's right.
But before we get out of here, I think one of the biggest things is you've got bands coming up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
From perspective with all the years of experience that you've had and more to come, what is the advice that you could give to the bands that are trying to make a name for themselves and go out there and do this thing that we've been chosen to do? Because I feel like we've been chosen to do it.
Absolutely.
What advice do you have for the bands or the artists themselves that are trying to get out there and do this?
Play. When you're trying to develop yourself as an artist, as a band, as a performer, as an entertainer, like we talked about earlier, there's no better experience than experience. Don't get so caught up on the whole, well, I don't play for exposure. If you ain't playing that much, you need to play as much as you can, exposure or not. That's the only way people are going to know anything about what you're doing is to play.
Yeah.
Humility. Stay humble. Don't think yourself ever better than a place, a venue, a bar, anything. It doesn't matter. You are there to do your job. Your job's to entertain. People are there to be entertained. You're no better than anyone there. Nobody is any less. We're all one team, one big happy family.
Yep.
That and just stay open-minded. Be open-minded and don't make it so much as like a competition, because I see a lot of bands out there trying to compete. Stay in your lane, man. Do your thing. It's good to support and see what's going on, like we're doing right now. We're seeing what's happening, right? But don't be so focused on, well, over here is doing this. Why are they playing that? I'm not playing this. They're doing that. Don't worry about that. You do your thing. You play. You stay focused, and you work hard, and it'll pay off.
Absolutely.
And if you're gonna if you're gonna be a professional, treat it as a profession. You show up on time. You do what you're asked to do. You don't get wasted. You're respectful. You're courteous. Professional.
Yeah.
Take care of those who take care of you. Don't make your bartender mad. Don't make your sound man mad. don't be rude to the waitresses. All these things are variables that go into the professional side of it, the business side of it, because it's not just all playing. It's a business, so treat it as such.
That is absolutely, you can't get a better answer than that. Guys, we're doing this because we're wanting to support all the local talent that's out there. And the reason why I've chosen Georgia, outside of the fact that I live here, is the fact that by the time I get done with all the interviews with everybody that's in Georgia, there's going to be hundreds of more bands and more artists that are popping up there that's going to need our support. And that's what we've got to do, is we've got to support one another. And it's like I said, it's going to their page and liking it, sharing it, making the comments, liking what they're posting. And if they've got stuff that's out streaming on YouTube or anything of that nature, like it, share it. That's the easiest thing that you can do. But it's the same thing as when you're going out there. Is we've got to all support each other. And that's what we're doing right now. Is we're supporting the local music scene here in Georgia, and that's what we've got to be doing. And it's just absolutely awesome to see what's happening. We're kind of the voice of the voiceless, because, like I've said beforehand, is all these top artists that are signed and whatnot. There's plenty of interviews on them, but we've got to have a support system for ourselves. It starts with us as the local bands and the artists supporting one another, and we've got to do that. It's a fantastic thing to see, and the messages that are coming in on saying, hey, you guys are doing the right things and you're making things happen. We want to spread the word as well. So it's been a beautiful thing that we're seeing right here. And again, I want you guys to go and support Crazy Heart. They've got many dates that they are posting out there. And like I said, they only have 4 dates, maybe five left to book. So if you're wanting them, make sure that you book them.
2 Fridays, 2 Saturdays.
2 Fridays, 2 Saturdays, and make it happen. Get these guys booked. Take care of them, because they're definitely going to entertain you. Like I said, one of the best bands that are out there right now. Extremely tight. And Sean, fantastic voice. It's like I said, you're one of my favorite frontmen that's out there, and it's absolutely a blessing to see what you do. And I just want to say thank you for being the right example for the local band scene and doing what needs to be done. And you're doing it the right way. And you guys are just, you're doing it how it's supposed to be done.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate that.
Man, I really appreciate you taking the time to give us the opportunity to get on here and talk about what we do. And like you said, just thank you for this whole scene that you're getting going right here, man. Because that's what it takes. It takes everybody helping each other out, networking, looking after each other. I mean, we're a community, right?
That's it.
Before we do get going, could I give a quick shout out?
Yes, give some shout outs.
Quick shout outs. We talked earlier before we got on here about another thing, doing what we do and being able to do what I do, I would not be able to do it without the support system I have. I have a great support system. I have a wonderful family. So I'm going to give a shout out to them, give a shout out to my mother, Diane, who's watching, my sisters, Katrina and Shay. Give a shout out to my beautiful daughter, Madigan. I don't know if she's not watching. She's on Facebook. She's on Facebook.
She'll see it.
Yes, it's one day.
We'll put it on YouTube.
My 2 boys, Grayson and Memphis. You guys are awesome always. My lovely lady, my partner in crime, my soulmate, Miss Mandy. And you guys can catch us every Tuesday at BB's doing trivia. So y'all be sure to come up and hang out with us up there if you get a chance. So just want to shout out to each and everybody that's ever been there for me, and my band. Brian, Eric, Dan, thank y'all. Couldn't do it without you. Much love to y'all. Thank you.
All right, guys. Again, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. It's been an absolutely awesome experience learning a little bit more about Sean Bennett and Crazy Heart and finding out what they've got going on. And we're going to be back. Like I said, I don't know how often we're going to be doing this, but my calendar is filling up with some absolutely awesome interviews. You can catch me next on May 1st. I will have none other than Donnie Hammonds out there. I'm going to kind of be pulling a little bit double duty because we're going to be doing some recording when I get there.
That's right. Wow.
And then I'm going to do a little interview with Donnie, and that one's going to be awesome. But I may have a little bit of an impromptu interview on Saturday night, waiting for that to get confirmed. So you might have something pop up Saturday, but as soon as I know that for sure, I'll let you know. Again, this has been the Local Bands of Georgia. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. We love you, and God bless.